This episode needs a different kind of introduction. Welcome to Izzo Zone. I'm just kidding. The only thing different is I'm going to do a long review, but all I had with me was a sample bottle. So with the magic of editing and my fabulous technical skills, hopefully a bottle should show up right here. Maybe now? And now. Okay, boy, I hope that worked. Anyway, so a few weeks ago I posted a blind flight that I did with some friends of the Mitchell & Sons Spot line, at least the 5 that I own. And I know before that I did the long review of the yellow spot and the gold spot. So, excuse me. Oh, I think I did yellow, gold, and green so far. So all we have left is the red and the blue. I had a little bit of the red with me. So we're going to go ahead and do our best to review this with only an ounce in here. So I poured it a little bit ago, let it sit for a while. We'll gently roll this. So I was watching a video of someone who's a master blender. And she didn't want to agitate the whiskey as she was tasting and blending things, but she would roll the glass real gently. So I might try to start doing that for a while, even though I love just swirling this whiskey in this glass. But you know what? We're going to just try the gentle roll. We're not going to agitate our whiskey. We're going to keep our whiskey calm. And maybe that'll make our whiskey better. Either there, I'm going to just forget and swirl it anyway. Oh, so you know what? So I should have, since I don't have the bottle with me, I should have looked up the... Let's look up the stats on the red spot. So the Mitchell & Sons, they're an Irish pot still whiskey type company, and they have the 5 spots I own: green, blue, yellow, red, and I have a gold. There are other ones I've seen greens finished in other things. So I will probably, I've liked the line enough. I will probably try to pick up some of those as long as they're not too outrageous. And we'll talk about outrageous pricing when we talk about this. But I'm sorry, let me go ahead and look up the red spot. So the red spot is the most expensive of this line that I've purchased so far. The stupid thing is $205 retail. I should not have bought it. But I was obsessing at the time, so I bought it and I have a backup. Idiot. But now I have it, and you can learn from my mistakes. So if you did watch that blind flight recently, you will realize that for me, the red came in 3rd place. 3rd place, yeah. 3rd place behind the blue and the gold, both of which are significantly less expensive. All right, so Red Spot Irish Whiskey. It's matured for over 15 years in a combination of American bourbon casks, Spanish sherry, and Sicilian Marsala wine casks. And yeah, again, $205 for a bottle of whiskey. It's kind of dumb. I mean, it's not the first time I've done that, but idiot. Anyway, if you're in Ohio, if you're near Mason, Ohio, they have a limited supply at Arrow Wine and Spirits at the moment. If you're in Fairfield, Ohio, they have a limited supply at Jungle Jim's International Market. Good to know. Anywhere else? Anywhere close to me? Columbus, limited supply. Dublin, no. Columbus. Canton, that's getting closer to the Cleveland area. North Lima. Medina. Grafton, that's on the west side. Fairview Park, Avon, Westlake. Westlake's not bad. Rocky River's not too far. Oh, there's a limited supply a couple miles from my house. Cool. But as I said, I've got one backup. That's all I'll ever need. I'm not buying another one. All right, so let's go back to this. So it's 92 proof, 46% alcohol by volume if you prefer it that way. All right, that's what I got for you. So let's get into some notes. And of course, oh, see, I swirled it. Whoops. Oh well, agitating my whiskey. And of course, a blind flight. So you do a blind flight to eliminate any bias, because if I had known what I was drinking, I would assume, based on previous tastings, that I would have liked the blue the best, but the gold ended up winning. So the blind flight is nice to let you know what you really like, but at the same time, your palate can change day to day. So if we did that blind flight again sometime, might get different results, and that might be fun to do sometime. I got another buddy I could do that blind flight with. I should do that blind flight with him, but that's for later. All right, so let me let you know what I'm getting in here. My agitated whiskey. So it's got decent legs on it. Got like a, I don't know, you probably can't see that on the camera, but a little bit. Yeah, you can see the legs. So it's got some nice oily looking thickness on it. And it was finished in, what were the casks? It was finished in 3 different casks. American bourbon, but they don't say like what company. Spanish sherry and Sicilian Marsala wine. So I don't know anything about Marsala. The sherry should be giving us kind of like red fruit notes, sweetness like that. And I do get like a deep red fruit note. To me, it's almost like, always coughing. To me, it's almost like cherry pie filling. There's a bit of oak in there. There's a bit of toasted caramel. It's nice. It's a nice smelling pour. Good bit of hug there at the end. Kind of tasted like a cherry cough drop, but in a good way, like not too medicine-y. A bit of a hug. Not my first glass of whiskey today, but it's been hours since then, so even at 92 proof, it got me. All right, so I'm coming back in, and so I still got that cherry, deep cherry, like that real syrupy cherry, like the filling in the pie. But now I've got a little bit of the wheat field that I get a lot of times when I'm tasting an Irish whiskey. So I'm eating cherry pie standing in a wheat field. I think there would be worse places to stand and eat a cherry pie. That would be neat to eat a cherry pie in a wheat field. Maybe someday. If you somehow own a wheat field, please let me know, and I'll bring a cherry pie and we'll have a good time. So a real light sweetness this time when it went in, almost like a confectioner's sugar. So it's like someone put confectioner's sugar on my cherry pie and then I ate it. Just a hint of that wheat taste, what I assume wheat would taste like if I'm just like eating it off the stalk. Just in the same way, like I assume it's what my mind says a wheat field would smell like, even though I've probably never stood in a wheat field that I know of. Okay. Wheat cherry, a little bit of bread this time. So it's like reinforcing the cherry pie thought in my head. Oh, and the hug kind of faded after the first sip. It's still there a little bit, but it's not as pronounced. That's probably just my body getting acclimated to the whiskey. Look who forgot that he wasn't going to swirl stuff. Oh well, this is more fun anyway. Yeah. It's like an adult spinner toy. Nothing's really changed on the nose, so still cherry pie, wheat field. As I was smelling it, as I was starting to taste it, got almost like a Cinnabon without the cinnamon. What would that be? So some sort of like sweet bread with a vanilla frosting over it. Then it turned back into cherry pie on the palate. It's good pour, but with how good the yellow and the blue and the gold is. Now the gold, if you find it, you're not going to find it at retail. If you do see it at retail, I highly recommend buying the gold. The gold was like 119 at retail, but I haven't seen it for less than 300 online. The blue and the red, the blue and the yellow, you usually see just a little shy of 200 online. But just be patient. When you someday find it at retail, or if you need a bottle, email me at heyizzo@yahoo.com. You give me proof of 21-year-old, and I'll buy you a bottle. In case the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Department is watching, like, I'm not going to make money off of anyone. I just want to help people find bottles of whiskey if they can. So if you need a yellow, blue, if you even need a red, I don't recommend getting the red personally, but if you need a red, let me know. I can get them at retail in Ohio, and then we'll figure something out. heyizzo@yahoo.com. Let's go in for another. We're getting light already. Nose didn't change this time. Cherry pie in the wheat field. A little bit of bread. That is nice though, remembering to like smell it, to breathe in as the liquid's hitting my tongue. That's doing wonders for the palate. I personally still don't think it's worth $200. So for me, if something is, for these older whiskeys, like 12, 15, 18 years, if something is $10 a year, in general, I think it's worth it. So if this is a 15-year-old, if it was $150, I wouldn't argue with it. But at $205, no. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it, unfortunately. and especially with the gold and the blue beating it, and the yellow is not that far behind it. The blue is, I think, 145 retail. The yellow is 135 retail. Personally, I think, and the blue, I don't have the blue review out yet, but so far I think the blue is the best. Is the best whiskey for money. That 145 for the blue is pretty good, and the whiskey's pretty tasty. And then the blue is, I think, is the blue 12 years? The blue year's 12 years old. So even that's a little bit more than my $10 a year rule, but it's just the quality of the pour seems better. So I don't mind paying a couple dollars more than that $10. That's not really a rule. It's just something that I kind of pay attention and look for. Like, I've tasted the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. They want I think they want like 155 for that, and it's like I think it's a 12-year-old product. But it's pretty tasty. So, you pay a couple bucks more than the $10 a year sometimes. And it depends. Like, I wouldn't do it unless I tried it. Of course, I was just obsessing over the spots. I hadn't tried them, and I bought backups for everything but the gold. So just, sometimes I get into an obsessive stage, and that's no good for my wallet. But I don't know. So those are just some musings on age and price. Let's go ahead and nose this again. Still in a wheat field. Still eating cherry pie. The bread just reinforces the thoughts that I'm eating a cherry pie. It's good. It's just not $200 good. So unless you're obsessing on finishing a collection, I would say don't worry about the red spot. But I have enjoyed all of these spots. It's just this one I don't think is worth the price point. I would definitely go for the blue or the yellow first. Personally, the blue I think is a bit better. It's $10 more, but I think the blue is a bit better. But that is my opinion. You can take it or leave it. Have you tried the red spot? If you have tried any of the spots, please put your comments in your comments if you've enjoyed them or not. All right, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you checked out the short of the neck pour. And this week I put up a bonus. I did a blind with the Widow Jane whiskeys, so you may have seen that. And if I have time and energy, I'm going to do a live stream. So hopefully that happened as well. So thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. If you're working, work safely. If you're drinking whiskey, please drink responsibly. But do everything with a little bit of whimsy, and you're going to have a good time. I'll see you next time you're hanging out at Izzo's place. Hey there, test, test, test. We are testing the microphone. Testing the microphone. Is it any better than not having a microphone? Let's go ahead and unplug the microphone and see if it kills it or if it turns off. Test, test, test. Test, 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 and test. Plug it back in. See what happens. Test, test, test.